I mean, everybody, this is Liz and Kelly, so you've been introduced now. And I think some people that are here would remember Liz, but Kelly, you're a little newer to the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I got a report last week, guys, or the week before. I guess it was last week. And just saw the numbers and I wanted to know, like, well, what can we do? How are we doing comparatively? And we're doing okay comparatively was like the message that I got. And I wanted to know what can we do better. And so I invited these guys to join us and let them talk and share the data. And so you guys want to take it from here. I can, I don't know if you can share your screen without me giving you permission. So let me know.
Oh, I can. Let me get going here. Oops, hang on. There we go. Share. All right. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Thanks for having us hop on. I know, yeah, some of you guys probably know me. I am the VP of Ops at Zavvie, but work with our entire Power Buyer team and have had the pleasure of meeting some of you guys. And Kelly is new to our company. She's going to be the new Zenith home loans account manager. Don't worry. Kara, Stephen, Bridget, the whole team's still here. We're just growing. And Kelly's actually local to Colorado. So Kelly, intro yourself real quick. Give them a little bit of your background.
My name is Kelly. I live in Denver. I've been there for about 14 years now. I actually used to work for Accept, which then was bought out by HomeLight. Sure, you guys have heard of them. So yeah, I'm very familiar with the products and the real estate market out in Colorado.
Yeah, so wanted to just let that be known that she is local. And we love to try to get in person if you guys ever need it. I know Kara has probably stopped by. But yeah, anytime, just know that we do have a couple folks with boots on the ground in your area. So if you ever need an in-person meeting or want to, grab coffee and talk about how we can do more business together, we're here to do it. But want to make sure everyone just remembers exactly who we are, where Zavvie comes into the Zenith Smart Cash umbrella. So Kelly and I work for Zavvie. We're just the block and tackle behind your white labeled program. So your program is Zenith Smart Cash. We're here. We're continuing to crush it. We've now done over 600 of these deals, seen a little bit of everything, and having a lot of success. Especially, I mean, right now, I feel like we're having the greatest success we've had probably in over, since the market threw us in a bit of a tizzy back in 2022. I feel like, our pipeline is busier than ever, and specifically in Colorado. We started there. We have a lot of partners there. So definitely have some very local success stories to share. But I did want to dig into your data for a bit. We have had some adopters of the program. I measure this for a lot of our partners. This is showing the blue line here, showing the total number of applications. So the total number of clients you've brought to the program month over month. And then the green bar is showing if we've actually put a deal under contract using Zenith Smart Cash. In comparing to Colorado partners, we could definitely get these numbers up. I like to see when that top bar is with your volume of LOs sitting around 20, sometimes 30 applications a month. We can get there. I know it's possible. And then that obviously always, the more applications that come in, the more UCs you're going to see, obviously, and you see those typically lag, 30 to 60 days. But in comparison, you guys got some room to grow, but I'd say you're definitely adopters of the program and using it well. And now we can kind of dig into those folks that have used the program. And this is where I'd really love to hear feedback from you guys. Casey, whenever I was digging in, I was like, Casey probably is like, oh boy. Casey and I worked for a long time on his first deal with the program. They don't always go as smoothly as we want them to go. Usually has something to do with that departure property in our cash buy before sale programs. That one was a little sticky because we couldn't get that departure property under contract. But Giuseppe, you've been absolutely crushing it with the program. 12 applications. You've closed 3 deals with the program. So I would love to have y'all share and give Kelly and us some feedback on your experience. And those that aren't using the program also want to hear, what can we do to encourage you and help you out?
Yeah, you know, Liz, obviously we had plenty of conversations over that long drawn out deal, but your guys' communication and speed to response and ability to really stick with us and help throughout that, what made it really seamless. I know, you know, what happened was beyond either of our control. So to those that haven't gone through the process yet, know that they are quick, they are going to communicate well with you, with your agents. They did a really good job just staying on top of what was happening.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. We do our best.
Both, I guess all 3 of mine were the bridge program. And I have a good grasp on that one. You know, I think what would be helpful to some of the LOs that have not done one is, and I'm sure every other company is, maybe like forgive me if we have this already, but I know we have like the flow chart, which is, you know, just super basic, but like, you know, more of a flow chart of like, here's what happens on this program. Here, like right now, this weekend, we got somebody approved for the first time for an actual cash buyer program. I think the signature, where they're flying into town. And I ran it by your team, and you were fine with it, but you know, we just couldn't do their loan quite yet because one of the spouses is like in like the first or second interview of like 5 interviews for this job, and she knows she's going to get a job with this company, but so they're doing the signature one where basically it's not, you know, the drawback to the modern bridge is just the fee, right? That's what we get. That's why that 12 is not, you know, 12 closed. There are other companies out there that I think are doing something maybe somehow a little bit cheaper than that, you know, closer to 1%. But this cash buyer signature program, and I sent an email out to the group. I mean, it's pretty sweet. I mean, these clients have their 5% down payment, and they are writing, you know, the bridge one, when they write the contract, it's a little convoluted, right? Like Zavvie's on the contract, and, you know, the realtors get a little bit confused, but you guys have done a great job. I mean, everyone's closed and everyone's done it, but some of the surprises on the bridge one that it would be good to have like on a sheet so we can prepare people better are some of the duplicate fees that they pay. You know, be aware of this when you're talking about it with your clients up front. You know, I think one of them was a rescue deal where they were buying a new build, their exit home didn't close at the last minute, and you guys stepped in. We closed on time, like within a week. It was awesome. But that particular property had so many HOA setup fees, and the title company fees were through the roof, that when we did the repurchase, you know, I totally underestimated those fees by like $4,000 or something. So their cash to close was way higher, you know, and they weren't happy about that. But I mean, they were happy it got done. So just kind of because we don't do them every day, something we can refer back to, and maybe like a best practices, or like for this signature deal, you know, going back to that one, they're going to be able to buy a house. The realtor's going to write the buyer's name on the contract. They're going to mark it as cash. Just like little bullet points, right? The buyers are going to write the earnest money, and then they end up with, I think I ran it by your team, it's like 8.5 interest only, you know, short-term financing, which compared to a 7.5 principal and interest payment is really not that much higher. And it's way lower than the rent, you know, on the bridge program. And so they're going to be able to live there, pay this, you know, interest payment. And then as soon as she has her offer letter that we can close on a refinance, we're just going to do a rate and term refinance. So, I think a good tip that I was thinking through on that one, they're doing 5% down. And I think you guys don't require any payments on that loan. It just accrues on the payoff. But I'm like, no, let's have them make payments, because or else that loan balance is going to be way too high when we go to do a refi.
Yeah.
Right. And like in their mind, it's like it's the same thing, but they kept the money instead of made payments. But in their mind, I think it's easier to have them just like make a payment every 30 days, like you do on the bridge program. But I mean, that's a deal saver, because these people are coming into town. They are really expected to find a home this weekend. But with his income only, they don't qualify for what they want. They need her income too. And then it's a slam dunk, DTI wise. And so this is, the realtor's excited. And, I gave her the phone number and the email that she can call when she need proof of funds for that cash offer. And I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I'm glad to hear you are using the signature program. I definitely did come prepared to give a rundown of signature if anybody else wanted to take a deep dive on any product questions. Please let me know. Happy to do that. That was great feedback as well, Giuseppe. We're constantly innovating and building tools to assist on specifically the timeline and how much money is needed when in the deal. And we have the reserve calculator that is very clear, but we need the signature version, and we're working on putting that side by side so you guys can really weigh the costs and lead the client to the product that is, the best fit for their specific goals and needs. But I think you hit the nail on the head. I was just on with a group actually in Colorado yesterday, and they, one of the lenders was like, what's different about signature? Why would anyone use signature over reserve? And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with the client's name is on the contract. They own the home on cash closing day. So because they own the home, they, can, if they need to make renovations or do any of those things that we don't allow when we own the home, they can start that right away. And right now we are seeing that the interest on that short-term loan is coming in a bit less than our daily ownership cost in the reserve program. Reason being, to explain why sometimes it's different, is the daily ownership cost in reserve, we own the home. So it's not only our cost of capital, it's also our cost of homeowners insurance, right? Because we own the home, we hold insurance on the home. So it can be that signature if they have the ability to do 5% minimum down on that short-term loan close. If they have that liquid available, it can be a better cost program for them. But also it depends on the refi rate as well. So there's a lot that plays into it, and we, together with your expertise in the space, can help guide your client to the best fit solution for them.
I have a quick question on that signature program. Is it 5% down kind of no matter what the loan amount is, or is it only up to conforming limits?
So for the signature product, to close the short-term loan, the one that Zavvie is providing is 5% minimum down at that short-term loan closing. If they want to bring more, they can. But we at a minimum need 5% minimum down. We may, if it's I want to say we may make exceptions, but it's hard to make exceptions when demand's so high right now. So I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. At times we can do less down, but it will be an exception, and we're going to peel it back, and the client needs to be, we're going to do a lot more checks and balances on the deal to just make sure we're mitigating risk. And that's just a requirement from our credit facilities.
What I meant, sorry, was just the loan amount itself. Can it go over like 766,000?
Oh yeah. So the loan amount 1.5. Yeah.
With 5% down.
Yeah.
Okay, because like I talked to an agent yesterday, little lady downsizing. She's not even going to need a loan at the end of the day. So it's basically me just making an introduction. you know, so she wants to go buy a house that's half the size of hers. She can do 5% down, do the short-term financing, right? And then sell her house and then just pay off the loan.
Yeah.
So like they won't need me, but it's still a good solution to help somebody.
And you'd be surprised, Giuseppe, we see a lot of no loan deals that end up becoming a loan deal. They come in, you know, the lender makes the introduction to us. And I've seen probably 30% of those. I kind of track them. I'm always curious about it. They end up turning into a loan deal. The client gets all that money and they might want to buy a car, or, you know, whatever. They have that money and they end up getting a small loan. And also any, you know, we want to keep you guys in the deal and informed on that client because of that. And we just had a no loan deal where with a lender in Colorado where the parents ended up referring their son to to the program. So definitely seeing a lot of no loan deals right now, people downsizing. I did want to touch on some of the success stories we've seen. Specifically, this one in the middle was a recent deal in Colorado. We've had a lot of lenders and agents working with the seller, providing seller concessions to cover the cost of the program. So it's happening more and more right now. A lot of people think like, oh, how would that, can't believe seller would pay that much. But the sellers that aren't using this program really do love the confidence in this deal closing, right? A lot of times why most of your deals need to be rescued is the snowball effect of that departure property that they need to sell before they can close on their new home falling out of contract. So sellers love the confidence of this deal. That's why they accept the offer, right? The whole value prop of the program is that strong contingent free offer. And we have had several wonderful success stories with seller concessions paying for the entire cost of the program. What we're seeing right now, obviously, is specific to your market, is just winning in multiple offer situations, needing to, compete in a highly desirable neighborhood. I mean, we've seen where we're winning against, 10, 11, 12 other offers on homes. We're also seeing, our win rate actually has gone up the month of April and February and March. I don't think people were bringing their best offer to the table. People that were writing cash offers were losing against higher cash offers. But I feel like the consumers and agents have woken up a bit to the fact that if you want that home, you got to bring your best offer to the table. When the market shifts, obviously, the cash value brings the potential to save off of list price. But right now it seems to be super competitive. And then the rescues, we are rescuing a lot of deals right now. That it's the departure property falls out and that client just needs a bit more time to get that property relisted and they still want to close on the home. So some recent success stories, not sure if any of you guys have any others to share from recent deals.
The rescue, I heard a rumor that the rescue fee is higher, but I didn't experience that on that new build deal last fall. Did something change? Is it still 1.9%? Or
the rescue, so we price the rescue at 2.1%. Reason being is we don't want to be the fallback, right? Of like, oh, write it, and if you need us to rescue, we'll step in. We need to incent, going with the cash buy before sell program at 1.9%. We can, depending on the situation, bring it down to 1.9%. So we'll wait. We'll drop it to 1.9 more often than not. If the deal's a true rescue, if it's someone that was shopping and made us jump through hoops to close in 5 days, we'll be more firm with the 2.1%. But it's really just to incent going, using the program the first time instead of rescues are tough on us operationally, guys. We can usually make magic happen, but I definitely throw a fire drill in my my transaction team's hands.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice, guys, to just charge extra for a trauma center deal? We rescue deals are all the time as well, but we don't we can't charge a premium anymore for anything.
Yeah.
We used to.
I know we used to.
I know. It helps. I mean, it is. I mean, and like I said, more often than not, we come down to 1.9, but,
You should have never said that, Liz. They're going to expect
I
it every
know,
time.
I
You
know.
should have
You know,
never
I
said
just-
it, man. Like
I
you
want
had
y'all
it
to
in the
see how it
can. It was
feels.
all done. It was done. You had it.
No, I want clients to, we really just want to give people access to,
Well, so let's talk about one of the things that you and I brought up, that you brought up, which I thought was kind of an intriguing thing, was just as a service to everybody that you're getting pre-approved. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and also get you approved for a cash offer. But, given the fact that there's different programs, how would you recommend somebody do that? And because if it's cash buy before sell or cash buy, and then it moves into cash buy rescue, because I didn't think I needed it, but now I need it. Like, it just seems
Mhm.
like that would be a little cumbersome to have to explain.
yeah, I mean, so the most simple way, we have a few loan officers that absolutely crush it, and they send us dang near every client that is every client that gets approved, they also get them pre-funded a shop with cash. And I actually sat down with one of the girls recently. I was like, what do you do? Like how do you pitch this? And she was like, I don't spend a lot of time pitching it. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I literally just say, hey, I don't need much more from you to get you fully underwritten and approved to shop with cash if and when you need it. And she's like, I paint the picture. I say, you don't see a home you like right now, but let me tell you from experience, I have clients that are like, I don't really need it. But the problem is on Friday, your dream home hits the market and the open house or the showing is on Saturday morning, and you show up and there's, you can tell there's people parked out front. There's another agent leaving. You're walking in. It's in a hot property in high demand. And at that point you go, oh gosh, I need that cash offer. Well, we need a conditionally underwritten file to be able to get a cash offer out in 1 hour. So she just kind of paints the picture of like, you probably won't even need it. Don't worry. Like this isn't going to bind you to using it. But what you do want to be able to do is pull that ACE card out of your back pocket if and when you need it. And dream homes hit the market. And in this market, it's super competitive. So that's how she's pulling people through full, completely, conditionally underwritten, higher in the sales process. And what that does for her is most of the time those clients convert with her, even if they don't use the cash program, because they're already through conditional underwriting. They have gotten those few other items, that, let them, once they send you all the information and get conditionally underwrite and pay stubs, W-2s, all of that, they're kind of like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to shop. I'm already conditionally approved. I'm just waiting for my dream home to hit the market to move this along. So that's her method. And that's what she's been with the program for a couple of years now. And we've been sharing this story for quite some time. And we have a few other LOs that have adopted it nationally. I mean, we have an LO in Florida that follows the same process, and it's an LO in North Carolina that literally put 4 deals under contract in 1 week with this program. They all just happen to hit at once, but he gets everyone pre-funded early.
I just think it's a unique value add, guys and gals, and I think that you just have to learn the program. You have to really get into like, how does this work and how do you explain it? But I just feel like you're already doing most of the work. You're doing all the work that you need to do here to be able to get the cash buyer deal approved. Like you guys already collect everything up front.
Mhm.
And so is there any other documentation? And maybe I don't know, but is there any other extra documentation you need, Liz,
to
for,
get pre-funded.
yeah, besides just what we would do for a pre-approval on a mortgage?
So pre-funding, we just need the AUS file uploaded to the portal. That's the main thing we need. If they have a departure property, if it's a cash buy before sale, we want to go ahead and look at that, because if it's a departure property, we check eligibility on those as well. Some main things we're looking at there is all things that show signs that the home would sell quickly. So we're going to look at that departure property, see what, you know, the average days on market is for that area. But the main thing we need to pre-fund someone to basically see if the buyer is qualified for the program is the AUS file uploaded to the portal, and we run through our risk tool and say, yep, it passes go. And we're looking for, the main things we're looking for in that file is, do they have enough cash to close and liquid to participate in the program? That's, you know, we're checking if they have a home to sell, we're looking at net proceeds, making sure it's checking out there, and making sure that they have, you know, enough money for the deposit under contract, or enough money in the signature instance for, you know, the 5% minimum down and the program fee. So
I
that's
love the language. I'm going to get you pre-funded rather than I'm going to get you pre-approved. Sounds a
Mhm.
lot more
official.
done. It sounds done.
Yeah, we actually long ago when I forget what we used to even call it, but I was part of the brainstorming session when we were like, what should we call it? And it pre-funded. It's, you know, pre-funded, and what that means to us is we've actually, if you send us a file and they're approved for a $1.2 million house and we pre-fund them, we earmark, you know, that 1.2 million in capital. So when they are ready to write the cash offer, we can move quick. And it speeds that process up a lot. We can way more quickly get a cash offer out if we've already seen the underwriting file, and all we need to do is approve the offer price in the new home.
I have a question just on manpower on your end to do something like that. I mean, I like the idea, and you know, approving these files is really easy, guys. I mean, you go to the website, it takes like 2 minutes and you upload the findings and that's it. But like if I personally send you 25 files in a month and none of them close, and that happens month after month, like, is that like, that's a good thing? Like, you guys are okay with that?
We love that.
Okay.
We're really, we have, and I actually was going to show y'all the new portal. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. When you upload that AUS file, we're using AI and several other like quick things to manage that risk. So we're really quick at looking at a underwriting file and looking at all of the elements of the deal to pre-fund. So we are totally okay with you sending 20. We would love that. Kelly would love if you sent 25 applications a month. It would make her heart sing. We're really quick. The one thing that gets, which in our portal now, you can tell it, we can close deals, right? We want to weed out the noise, because if you send us 25 a month and then we're at 110 files, at some point Kelly's going to call you, but she's going to call you every week anyway, and she's going to go, hey, I got a bunch of old files here. Should we close some of these? Have they moved on? And it's just cleaning out the system. But that's what we're here to do. I log into some of these LO's portal and there's 40 people sitting in pre-funded that we're just waiting for, and we check in and we clear out and we're just waiting for that home to hit.
Yeah. So like you want us to let you know that, hey, they closed, take them out.
Mhm.
They were able to, you know, do a normal transaction. Jacqueline's got her hand. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Giuseppe, you have more?
Just, can we clean them out or no? Like
Yeah.
in my portal, how do you do?
We have a new portal. We have a brand new portal
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacqueline has her hand raised. Go ahead, Jack.
Sorry. So if I'm sending a file over, are we, because I just haven't done one yet, I've just asked lots of questions on the email so far. But so if I've got somebody that I want to get pre-funded, is the client having a conversation with you as part of that, or do we handle all of that?
Yeah. So, this is my rule of thumb with the client. So we will never talk to a client solo. Reason being is we always want either the loan officer or the agent on the call with the client. Once you do 1 or 2 deals, most of the time you'll handle it. You don't need us to help. But that first deal, totally respect that. You know, you might not be as confident in explaining the cost and exactly how the process works. Kelly's more than happy to hop on with you and the client and comfort that client and give you, and listening to her do that is going to empower you to do it in your next deals too. But we absolutely, especially your first couple deals, will hop on with you and the client to comfort them and answer any questions and make sure that there are no surprises after they've, signed the client agreement and terms and are like, what? So just don't throw out the deal and go, hey, call my client. We don't operate.
Okay. And so then if I've got somebody that I want to do this with, I would just go in and submit the application and get everything started. We do a conference call for my first one. And then you guys just similar to what we're doing now, we're just kind of sitting in the background waiting for them to write an offer and deciding if we need this or not.
Correct.
Okay.
And
got
if
it.
you
Thank you.
let us, the other thing we're also really good at is following up with the agent. So once you have a client that is pre-funded or pre-approved with you, send them over, we pre-fund them. You've let us know like, hey, this is their agent. You share that contact information. We won't reach out to the agent rogue unless you've said, yeah, go ahead and send, because the agent is part of representing the client, right? The agent's reviewing the client agreement before the client signs it. The agent's reviewing the terms. We'll check in with the agents as well. If someone's pre-funded or has been making offers, they're your fastest path to knowing, to staying in the deal. So we check in with the agent and say, hey, is so-and-so still shopping? It's Thursday. Just want to see if they're looking at any new properties. We should go ahead and get in front of the deal committee this weekend. And RLOs love us for that because it helps their follow-up, right? We're following up with your agent on that deal. If you don't want us to do it, we won't, but I do think it's a huge value add.
Can you send that link like in
Yeah,
another way?
Yep, I'm about to.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I'm not great at multitasking. This is your new portal that I just dropped in the chat. Click that bad boy, go ahead and create an account. That self-service key that's on the end, all those numbers is why you're like, will you please send me the link? That's so when you sign up, I know that you're creating a Zenith account. So click that, create an LO account. This is the new portal. We just very soft launched it like April 10th. Where there's a lot more enhancements that are coming to this portal. But it's going to be pretty sweet. And uploading your AUS into this portal secures your spot in the line. And is when I was telling you all, we have the AI that is quickly reading that, reviewing it. It speeds up our ops processing on your file really quickly when you use the portal. So fastest way to secure a spot in line and get something approved quickly is upload the application to the portal. I'm also going to drop Kelly's meeting link here. Anyone that hasn't done a deal or has more questions or wants just a one-to-one, funnel review or dive into a client scenario or product, feel free to grab some time on Kelly's calendar. And if you need something, you don't see the available.
I think this is a really powerful deal, opportunity, guys, to first of all, learn the programs better and understand. And the more confident you are, the more ready to use them you'll be. And then I would love to tell my referral partners that, hey, just so you know, I'm going to get every one of our clients pre-approved for a cash offer, pre-funded for a cash offer at the same time you get them pre-approved, just so that we increase your odds of getting that house sold and you guys getting your commission. And so I'm really focused on doing everything I can to help you with that. And then I do think that the customers are gonna be like, it doesn't cost you anything extra to get the pre-funding done. There's fees associated with the program if you end up using it. I just don't want you to miss out on your dream house because like it comes along and then it goes away. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I'll walk you through what's available when the opportunity comes, but, and I don't know, maybe you do spend time explaining it to them now, but, I would do it really high level, probably is like, you're going to either pay X, Y, or Z in fees. And depending on what we need and how we do it. But my goal is for you not to use it, but I want you to have it in case you need it. It's always nice to need something, to have something that you don't need than to need something you don't have. And so let's do that. It's like, I have a bunch of really good analogies. They're not appropriate. So just, So that's it. That's always like, it's always good to have something you don't need. Go ahead,
You
Ryan.
nailed,
Um,
you nailed it. I want to capture what you said is keeping it high level and simple and saying, my goal is that you don't need it. That makes them feel like they're not being, like a lot of people are like, like, I don't want to, like, you're pushing me down something. And that gives them comfort, but because they don't know that they need it until that house has hit the market and they're in that specific situation. And then all
Exactly.
of a sudden they don't read a damn thing. They sign contracts. They'll pay $1 million to get their dream home. But if you talk about it when they're not in the situation, their head spins, they feel pressured. So I think that was a great way. It's like, I don't need you to need it. Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Quick question on the signature program. I know it's earnest money plus 1% to the title company, correct?
So it depends. So signature cash buy before sell. So cash buy before sell is 1.9%.
Right,
Cash buy
right.
is 1%. So
Right.
signature, depending on which one, is when the client goes under contract, they pay earnest money. Their name's on the contract.
Yep.
At the short-term loan closing, they pay the program fee and the short-term loan closing costs and the 5% minimum down, which their earnest money is going towards, right? So it depends on, and they're paying that program fee
At the
and
closing.
at
Okay,
the
that makes
closing.
sense. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I was mulling over your like seller concessions to pay for the program costs. I mean, me particularly, I work with mainly more buyers than sellers. And it's such a, I think it's a unique way to be able to at least, hey, let's go ahead and offer 6K extra, right? On a $600,000 house. Now we're going to get your offer accepted for sure. You're not going to have any cost for you. So I think this is great because yeah, I'm basically going to have every eligible client pre-funded with you guys moving forward. This is
Kelly, get ready. Kelly's ready.
coming
Like-
at you, Kelly.
Yeah. I just a similar question on the clients for this weekend. They are doing signature where
Mhm.
they, and it's 1% of the loan amount,
Yes.
not 1% of the purchase price.
Yeah.
So that's different compared to the other ones. And it's they said like $400 loan closing fee.
Yep, it's around $450, the short-term loan closing fee.
So those are the only fees they're going to pay at closing.
Oh, 1%.
And then they
of
do a
the
refinance. So it's
loan.
1% of the loan amount. So it's really easy to explain. It's like, well, you don't have to do this, but here's what it would cost if you want to, and then we can refinance right after.
Great.
Yep,
Just get 1% of the price and then you can get some closing costs paid for too.
Yep. Yeah, the price for signature can get lesser by the client bringing a greater down payment. So the fee is not on the purchase price, it is on the loan amount for signature. So
Mm. And so
Yeah.
then the double closing costs just coming for the refi. Yeah, G, right?
The double closing costs were for the bridge
Reserve.
program because
Bridge.
it's like title fees, HOA fees, all that stuff. Zavvie's not going to pay for it at the end of the day, even though they have to pay for it the day of closing. So they charge it back when you do the repurchase.
Right.
Mhm.
And just thinking out loud, obviously they're going to have some of the closing costs for the refi too,
The
right?
refi.
Yeah. So you just have to be
Usually
careful when you're doing a
lesser.
5% down conventional purchase, right? You have to, obviously talk to them about that, bringing some cash to close in the refinance too, right?
Yeah. That's so I'll reserve. This is how I kind of reserve. We reserve the home. So we're buying it. There are 2 purchase transactions. So with
Mhm.
the 2 purchase transaction, we buy the home and we pass the cost back to the client on the buyback contract. So HOA, where there is an HOA, we try to catch that whenever we're looking at the deals and say, hey, heads up, have you had the conversation with a client that there could be, like, let's explore what the HOA transfer costs are. But your basic, things that we pay for in the first closing, we're going to pass that back to the client. In signature, the way I remember signature, client's name is on the contract. It's their signature on the contract. They're closing. We are funding their cash close on closing day, and then you're doing a rate and term refinance, of which, yes, there's going to be some refinance closing costs. But it's usually you're avoiding why the signature program was created was there's states that have insanely high transfer taxes. Washington has excise tax, Pennsylvania. So, it was just like cost prohibitive to use the program because of the real estate transfer tax. So that we actually created this program to help avoid those double costs because
Oh,
of the.
nice. That makes sense. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
As
that
long
was
as
the,
they have the money. If they don't have the money because everything's tied up in the house, then
Yeah.
you have to do the bridge.
reserve, correct. That's, and I'm working on trying to lower that barrier to entry. I'm doing everything I can to see if we can, because I see that a lot where someone comes in and wants to do signature, they just don't have, if they're equity rich and they have no liquid, they don't have the 5% down. Is where we go. Let's run reserve numbers instead. But I'm working with our leadership team and credit facilities to see if we can lower that
Can't you
barrier.
just put like a 5% lien on the exit home? Like a
We are
second
talking
mortgage?
about cross collateralizing on the departure property is one of the solutions that we're exploring. It's just a hell of a lot of operational lift for it, so.
I have just one more question. Sorry, I know I've been kind of monopolizing this, but the little old lady I'm talking to at some point later today, where I'm not doing a mortgage for her. You said before an LO just makes an introduction to you. Like, how does that work? Do you have a template? Right. I'm not going to have an application. I mean, I hope I don't need to take an application and pull credit and run findings for a loan we know for sure
Yeah,
we're
no,
not doing.
we'll accept your self-reported credit score. I'm like, Kelly, we've changed it a little bit. Do you know exactly what our list of no loan deals items are?
Yeah, I think it's self-reported credit score and then just some sort of like a statement showing that she does have the funds for the program fee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just need to know that there's liquid to cover the cost of
Okay.
the program and going under contract.
And is there like, I know we have offers at, Zenith. I mean, is that the email for everything?
Mhm.
Like I'm making an intro, I'm looping you guys in or an email with her and then you're taking over, or how
We
would it
still
work for a
want you
deal that
involved in the transaction. Like I said, we don't like going rogue with an unrepresented, like you're our partner. So we're working with a client and probably a external agent that we may or may not have done a deal with before. We still like, if they're using the program, it's your program. So we want you just informed and CC'd on communication. Are we going to be emailing and exchanging communication with the client? Absolutely. But the reason being is, like I've said, we've ended up in instances where either that departure property didn't sell for as much as they thought it was, or they decided to do something else with that big sum of money that hit their bank account and they end up needing a loan. So we want you to stay CC'd in communication and aware of the deal from start to finish in the event we need you to step in and discuss a loan potentially to remove the cash position.
I'm trying to create my new account here and I'm getting like errors about tokens and messages and parentheses and stuff I don't understand.
Let me back out to make sure I didn't screw up and drop the wrong
No, it's the right website.
It
But
is?
put
Okay.
in my name and email and MLS, created a password, but then when I do create account, I just get like a kind of a tech error.
Fun. That's always exciting. It is, like I said, soft launch.
Why don't we
but-
do this? Yeah, why don't we do this? Why don't we not, we'll do this
Yeah.
after, like you guys can connect after this.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
on.
that's fine.
And then you can train everybody, do a video and you can train everybody how to do it and you can send it out.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely let us know. Just
But I'm glad you started. So like we could at least do that. So good. Anybody else have any other questions? I know that we're running a little long here, but this has been great, Liz and Kelly. Thank
Yeah,
you very
happy-
much. This has been great information. And so everybody knows how to get a hold of you. I will forward your guys' email addresses to everybody. And then you guys, I would highly encourage you to schedule some time and learn more and more about this program and decide to adopt it, because I think, man, I think it would be a game changer. I think you just increase the number of transactions that you're going to do, both, especially for your agents. Your agents are going to love you for it.
Can we chat separately to set up a agent meeting? Like if I did like a webinar?
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe, I mean, if you guys are interested, we could do one for the company, but like, I feel like getting all of our agents super bought in on this is obviously half the battle sometimes. You tell them cash program, like, oh, we don't need a cash program. It's like, no. We'd like, let's break down this barrier, right? Like everything else in our industry, is without knowledge, they're not confident with it. So
Right, exactly.
We
That's
can
great
arm
input.
you with, I'll actually add that to my to-do list. We're, white labeling what we call I call it the agent product pitch in a box. We come from, spending a lot of time training agents and have really perfected the high level pitch of what makes talking to the agents problems and what makes them go, oh, I do need this. I have the script for the deck, the invite that will hopefully get them to come, and kind of how to pitch it to a room full of agents. And of course, myself and Kelly and our entire team's here to help. If you got a high volume of agents, we'll happily jump on and do a webinar as well.
So that's something we could present as well ourselves. Oh, that'd
Correct.
be awesome. I'd love that.
Yep. I need to get y'all a white labeled version of it for Zenith Smart Cash, and I'll distribute to everyone.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much for the time today. Sorry we ran a little long. I do just have
No, it's been good. It's not like it wasn't worth it. So thank you. And this has been great information. And I think the next steps are for sure to get you guys. Well, I would schedule one-on-one time with this group, or maybe you guys can put together some group stuff if other people want to do it, so you can leverage your time more. And you guys, the more you study and learn how to sell this program, the more confident you're going to be selling it. So invest the time, and then, God, I would love to have that strategy. Is like going, I'm going to get all of my clients pre-approved, pre-funded.
refunded. There you
Pre-funded.
go.
That's strong. That's very strong. All right, you guys. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks everybody for
guys.
joining. You'll get a
Appreciate
recording of
y'all.
this, and then have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys at